In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a LILIN AI camera to a LILIN NVR. I have already pre-configured this NVR but left channel 7 blank. I'm going to use the web browser to show you, but this would be the same if I had a local HDMI with mouse to control. So first, I enter the camera menu, select channel 7, and under camera source I have three options: off, IP camera or auto. If I had hardwired the network cable from the camera directly back to the back of the NVR, I could have chosen auto for this, and this would have auto configured the IP address for me. However, I've already IP addressed this camera, so I simply enter it here under IP address. I make sure that I enter the username and password that I have also created, and then hit apply. At the top of the screen, the status will change to video loss, and then shortly to connected. I now click on stream just to check that the video stream is coming through, and we can see on channel 7 I now have video. Now I click metadata. This is where I will tell the NVR what metadata from the camera it is looking for. So I click the detection key at the top, and now it's found the AI engine I'm running on the camera. Here I select the triggers that I'm going to use, which is car and person in this case. Now I choose how I want to display that on the on-screen video. I have a choice of off, object box, which is a bonding box around the object, detection zone, which will flash when a trigger happens, or both. Here I select object box and zone so that it's easy for you to see in the video. We haven't set up the plugin on the actual camera yet though, so to make this easier, I'm going to go to Network on the NVR and Other. Here I activate the proxy service. The proxy service then allows me to view the camera channels through the NVR. This can be extremely helpful if you're remote dialing in, so you don't have to open up so many ports for the site. I then return to metadata, and I can now click on the camera web page. This will take me directly to the plugin. I enter the username and password of the camera to enter the plugin menu. In the plugin, I'm going to click on alarm. Here we can see the classifications I have, person and car, and the way I'm going to trigger by the behaviour is a pre-bid zone. However, the zone is the whole screen, and I don't need this because the warehouse at the back is not part of our property, so I don't want that going off every time somebody comes and goes from that property. So I resize my window. I can have up to 4 windows, and in this I can also change the confidence level and the size of the objects. I now click apply. I'm then going to close the window and return to the NVR. So now the plugin is set up and the NVR is receiving the metadata. I want to tell the NVR to actually record this as an alarm event. So I click on alarm, make sure I'm on channel 7, and I change my alarm input type to IP camera, remembering to hit apply. The NVR will now see metadata events from the camera and create alarms for these. I'm going to test this now, so I'm going to make channel 7 full screen and drive my car around the back. Once the car enters the scene, you'll see the bonding boxes around the car, and also the detection zone is flashing as I requested. We'll also see that metadata has come up in the top right of the NVR. So this is now an alarmed triggered event. And here, a person enters the zone, and again, the alarm is going. We can review these events through the play icon at the top of the browser. The first menu is a calendar search, so I'm going to select today. And the NVR is now searching for all metadata events. These can be seen at the bottom here on the timeline. I now select filter and just choose channel 7. I also want to view these as thumbnails, so I click on the icon on the right and I will have a list of alarms now on the right hand side as thumbnails. At the bottom in my timeline, if I use the zoom on my mouse, I can expand the timeline, seeing the different thumbnails down here as well. I can either click on those or the ones on the right hand side to synchronise the playback to those events. One final thing I'm going to show is, as well as having the alarms logged on the NVR, I may wish to have them as alarm outputs, such as a push notification. To do this, I enter the alarm in the menu and now select output. There's a list of outputs available. I'm going to do notification here, which will be to my mobile device. Make sure I've enabled it and then choose the channel event. For the Edge AI, it's restricted area in this case, and I select person and car and hit apply. Now, if those triggers were to happen, as well as the NVR login, I would get a push notification to my mobile device.